Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're testing out some of the newest weapons we just added to the KarateMart.com website. But before we begin, if you just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So last week, in honor of the new TV show and video game The Last of Us, I gave you 4 different weapons to choose from in order to survive the infected. And then I asked you to go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you would choose. And you guys went to the community tab and chose the modern Viking sax sword. Excellent choice, guys. This was absolutely my choice last week, so good job. So this week, we just got in this huge new shipment of awesome weapons, so I asked Amanda to go back into the warehouse and grab some of the coolest ones she could find for us to review and test out today. So, at the end of this video, make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you liked best, and as always, there are links in the description of the video so you can find more information on each of these products. Now, Amanda is actually out today because she had a death in her family, which I'm very sorry to hear about, so I have Melanie helping me out. But without further ado, Melanie, what is our very first item? Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, and our very first new and exciting weapon that we just got is the Demon Hunter Push Dagger. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow. This thing is nuts. All right, so first off, we can see that it comes with a really nice brown genuine leather sheath. It's actually a really high quality sheath, so I like that. And it's got a belt loop on the side, so we can hang it from the side of our body if we want. But I want to see the blade itself, so let's just open this up and check out this blade. Oh, geez. Look at this. I totally understand why we're calling it the Demon Hunter Push Dagger. So we can see that it's got this kind of arrowhead style blade up here. And then we've got these little kind of gut hook looking things down here and down here. So that would just rip apart everything. So that is a pretty crazy looking design. I like that. Now the blade itself is made out of a stainless steel, and the manufacturer does not state what type of stainless steel it is, but based on the sheen of the blade, I'm going to guess that that is a 440 stainless steel, but it's a very thick piece, so I think that's going to hold up really nicely for us. And then we can see that it goes full tang into the handle, and it has a really nice pack of wood handle on there. Now, if we take a closer look at the blade, we can see that it has this double-sided fuller on it, but that's a pretty shallow fuller, so that's not going to do anything to really take any weight off the blade. That's just giving it a really nice aesthetic look. The blade length is approximately 6 3/4 inches. The total length of this is approximately 8 3/4 inches, and the total weight is about 12.8 ounces. So that is a really nice weight on this weapon, but I want to test it out. So we've got this handy wing chun dummy over here. Let's actually try punching this a little bit. Oh, geez. Oh, wow. That is nuts. This thing, look at that. That thing is in there tight. Oh, you can't tell me that this wouldn't be an effective weapon. That is awesome. I love it. And because the handle is so thick, it didn't hurt my palm at all. So I'm absolutely loving this weapon. But there's not much more to say about it, so I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next weapon. All right, Melanie, what is our very next weapon? Here you go. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. All right, let's check this out. I always love seeing new weapons. I think it's so much fun. Oh, wow. All right, and our next weapon is the Colossal Combat Cleaver. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow, this thing is nuts. So first off, we see that it's got a really nice, this is a heavy-duty, genuine leather sheath. And it's got a belt loop on the side, so we can hang it from the side of our body if we want. But I want to see the blade itself, so let's go ahead and open this up. Oh man, look at this. Look how enormous this is. So the first thing I notice is these holes are pretty far apart here. So if I were to do something like this, that's simply not going to work. But I know the reason the manufacturer made it this way. So they wanted the handle to be big enough so that we could use it like this in a kitchen sense. But if we also wanted to use it for tactical purposes, We could use this forefinger hold to put our finger through and then use the jimping up here so we have good control of the blade. We can also throw it into reverse grip and use that ring on the pommel. And the ring on the pommel also has jimping back here, so we've got really good control in reverse grip. So I think that is awesome. Now the blade itself is made from a very thick 3CR13 stainless steel, which is good in the sense that it is corrosion resistant. So if we're using this as a kitchen utensil, that will be nice that if we get water and food on the blade, we're not going to have to worry about rusting and things like that. And then we can also see that the blade has this kind of raindrop Damascus pattern that's been added to it. We can see that there is a single-sided fuller in the blade, as well as some venting. And because it's a single-sided fuller and not a double-sided fuller, I see that as more of an aesthetic feature to this knife than anything else. Now, if we look at the scales on this knife, we can see that the scales are made from a really nice pack of wood that's got a really smoothed down surface to it. So it's very, very comfortable in my hand. It's a very nice ergonomic grip. So if we are chopping away at food, that actually would be very comfortable. And then if we do decide to use this for tactical purposes, it's actually really comfortable as well. The blade itself is definitely sharp. And one of the things that's nice about these cleaver style blades is they've got this very sharp tip on the end. Now I've got this piece of fabric down here, which is a very thick piece of fabric from a 14-ounce super heavyweight karate pants. And I'm gonna go ahead and hang that over the Wing Chun dummy. And you can see that there's no slices in this section at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slice it with the tip of this cleaver. And let's see how well this slices through. I mean, look at that. That just sliced through just perfectly. Top layer even sliced into the second layer just really nicely. So in that aspect, we've got a really nice sharp point there. But I want to test out the blade a little bit. So let's actually chop into this Wing Chun dummy just a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. That went through so deep into that Wing Chun dummy. Now the overall length of this is approximately 11 3/4 inches. The blade length is approximately 6 inches, and the total weight is approximately 15.5 ounces, which is about 1 pound. I love this knife. I think this is absolutely beautiful, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next weapon. All right, Melanie, what is our next weapon you have for me today? Awesome, awesome, and thanks so much for helping out. I appreciate it today. All right, let's see. Our next weapon is the solid brass spiked knuckle duster. Awesome, awesome. Oh wow, yeah, we've actually carried this on KarateMart.com for quite a while now, but this is the upgraded, improved version of it, so I'm excited to show it off a little bit. So first off, this is made from solid brass. I mean, that is beautiful in itself, and it's been polished up, so it just looks really nice. The thing that I like so much about this is it has this little point on top, which could be used for so many things. Like we could use it for pressure points. I personally would probably flip this thing upside down, use it in a reverse grip, so I could use it for hammer strikes. I could strike like that. I mean, that is just awesome. In fact, let's just test that out just a little bit. I mean, look at that. Just, oh yeah, that's just putting a nice big hole in there. That's beautiful for punching. Okay, that actually hurt my hand, and that's because this palm grip is just a little bit too thin. So it kind of hurt right in here, and that is not good. So for this type of knuckle duster, I'm gonna imagine that we're gonna have to ride it up on our knuckles a little bit. So the palm grip is just kind of dug into there, and we're gonna swipe with it. So let's just give that a whirl. Oh yeah, that doesn't hurt at all. Oh yeah, that feels good. I like that. The only problem with that is if we're going to use it for other techniques where we're using this little point here for hammer strikes and things, we'd actually have to maneuver it back into our knuckle to use it for that kind of thing. So something kind of important to learn. In fact, you can kind of see there's a little bit of blood on my knuckle because I was using it the wrong way the first time I struck with it. Now, if we look at these holes here, the inner diameter of these holes is approximately 1 inch, which is nice because a lot of knuckle dusters have these holes just a little too small, and 1 inch seems to be a pretty good universal size for most people's hands. In fact, I've got plenty of room in here, and I've got fairly big hands. If you've got monstrous hands, I still think it's gonna fit you just fine. Now, the total length of this is approximately 6 inches, and the total weight is about 8.5 ounces. But one other thing I really wanna mention is that when it comes to knuckle dusters, it's so important that you check your local laws because you do not wanna get in trouble for carrying something like this. But I think that's about all I have to say about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next weapon. All right, Melanie, what do you have next for me today?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, this one's light. Let's see what this is. All right, and our next weapon is the permanent marker spike. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow. This one actually has a really good story behind it. So one of the questions I get asked all the time on our YouTube videos is, why don't you guys carry this specific brand of sword or this specific brand of knife? But the problem is that everyone carries them. We decided that we wanted to start carrying things that other people weren't carrying. So one of the things I've been doing for the last 2 months is trying to meet different small knife manufacturers who are able to make us custom knives that would be perfect just for our company. So these would be made in America with American metals, and we'd be able to build these really great relationships with these small knife manufacturers. Now during this process, I met a guy named Mike who owns a company called the Armis Knife and Tool Company in Connecticut. And he and I have just hit it off so well. In fact, we're designing some really, really incredible high-end knives that are going to be available soon. But in the process, he also decided to manufacture these for us. These ones are actually completely non-metal. They have a G10 tip on them, and they're just perfect as a hidden EDC weapon. I love these things. One thing that's important is to check your local laws just to make sure you're not doing anything that could get you into trouble. Now let's just take a closer look at this. So first off, this looks like an extremely inconspicuous marker. In fact, I'd probably just put it in my front pocket so I had it available to me if I needed it. And then if I actually got attacked, I could pull that out. And then I've got that spike available to me. Now, the other thing that's great about it too is it's only 0.3 ounces. That's less than 1 ounce. So this thing weighs next to nothing. We can just throw it in our pocket. We're good to go. But one thing I do want to mention is that this and the other weapons that I have Mike making are only going to be available on combative.com. So definitely check out combative.com if you're interested in this permanent marker spike. But that's about all I have to say about this, so I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our last weapon. All right, Melanie, what is our last weapon for the day?
There you go.
Awesome, awesome, thank you. All right, let's see what this guy is. Oh, nice. All right, and our last weapon is the hand-forged Saber sword. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow, look at this. That is beautiful. So first off, we can see that it comes with a really nice heavy-duty black leather sheath, and then it's got a belt loop on it, so we can hang it from the side of our body if we want, but it also has this shoulder strap on it, so I love that. I could actually put it around my shoulder, so very awesome, but I want to see the blade itself, so let's go ahead and open this up and check that out. Oh, wow. Now, clearly that is a saber sword, and saber swords are known for being a European infantry sword that has a single edge and a curved blade, and this one is absolutely beautiful. So let's just take a closer look at this. Now, first off, we can see that this is made from one solid piece of 65 manganese steel, which is known for being a very hard steel with excellent edge retention. And we can also see that the blade is sandwiched between two more pieces of metal in order to make the handle. So that is going to hold up for you very, very nicely. You know, one of the things I really like about this blade is how it has this kind of charcoal finish to it, which gives it a really nice aged look. So I think that is awesome. And then another thing I'm noticing too is if we look at this D-guard here that's covering our hand, we can see that it's got these little sharp edges here. So that's actually going to come in handy as an additional weapon. So let's actually just test that out really quick on the Wing Chun dummy. I'll put my foot on it so it doesn't fly back. Oh yeah, that just took off a lot of wood. Look at that. That just that's pretty awesome. So just the D-guard in itself makes a pretty darn nice weapon. Now the blade itself is definitely sharp and the tip is sharp. Let's just test that out really quick. I mean, look at that. That stuck all the way into the Wing Chun dummy. That's pretty awesome. And let's test out this tip. I'll put my foot on there. Oh yeah, that's in there very nicely. So very nice and sharp tip. Yeah, and yeah, if you look at that tip, no damage at all. This thing's going to hold up for you very, very nicely. And then if we take a closer look at the handle, we can see that they actually wrapped it with this leather wrap, which actually makes it really comfortable in my hands. So I like that. Now the overall length of this sword is approximately 33.5 inches. The blade length is approximately 26.25 inches, and the total weight is approximately 2 pounds 5 ounces. But that's about all I have to say about this, but I'm very curious to see which weapon you guys vote for in the poll this week. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. And as always, if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of really awesome new weapons on there right now. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.